What's up, guys? Alright, part 3 in my Gerber LMF 2 versus the Gerber Grylls knives. As I guess you just saw in my part 2, I did some batoning with both of them, did a little hammering with both of them. I guess, here, let's get them out of the sheath so I can talk a little bit easier with them. As far as the batoning, both knives actually did about the same. They both did pretty good. You can see where the finish on the Grylls definitely didn't hold up quite as well. It's no big deal. I mean, it's not really that dark of a finish on it anyways. But like I said before, if you're going to use the knives, you're going to lose the finish, so that's not a big deal. Both knives did pretty good. Both are still really sharp. Now, even though they both did pretty well, the LMF 2 definitely has a better steel. I think the edge is going to hold a lot better on the LMF 2 just because it is a higher grade steel on it. But either one will get the job done. I used a nice hardwood, and all the wood had some knots in it, and both of them cut right through them. So I was actually happy with the way that turned out. So you could definitely use either one of these in a situation with camping or survival. Now, if I had to put my money on it, I would guess that the Gerber would hold up more over time. I only did 3 or 4 runs with each of them. I didn't do a whole pile. Obviously if you're going to start a fire, you're going to need to do some more wood with it. But I mean, from what I can tell, no visible damage to either knife. So I was pretty happy with that. Now, as far as the hammering part of it, using the pommels on them, now the Grylls definitely did a better job. You can compare how big that is to the size of that. I mean, you got about half the surface. And as you can see on this one, see if you can see that, a lot of damage on here. Because the way that the LMF 2 is, you have to hold it in the sheath. Now, it's hard to hang on to that freaking sheath while you're hammering. It just kind of, flails around. So I wasn't very accurate with the LMF 2 at all. So it definitely did some damage to the handle. No big deal. It's still usable. This is a really, really thick rubber handle on it. So, you're not going to have to worry about it actually coming off or anything. But since the surface was smaller and the way that you have to do it with the sheath actually in your hand, you're not going to be quite as accurate with this one, which I was disappointed with. But with this one, I mean, that's a big surface right there. Held up great. And with this one, you can hold it in your hand, and the handle's so good, you have a place right here where your finger fits in pretty well. And it was snug. I didn't have a problem whatsoever just hammering the hell out of the Grylls. So, as far as the actual pommeling or hammering, whatever you want to call it, the Grylls by far is a lot easier to handle. So I guess that's about it. In a camping or survival situation, you're going to need it a lot more for batoning or cutting things rather than hammering. So I would definitely go with the LMF 2 over the Grylls. I don't think the Grylls knife is bad at all, but as far as knife to knife, if I could only have one of them, it would definitely have to be the LMF 2. Although I was impressed with the Grylls, no matter how bad people have talked about it. And then again, with the sheaths, you got the fire starter with this one and the sharpening stone. With this one, you just have the sharpener in it, but it's also Molly ready, and it has the leg straps that came with it too. So both sheaths are good, but the LMF 2, the sheath is so much better, man. It's a lot more flexible, and I think it would hold up a lot better. So that's it, man. A little 3-part series. I love both of these knives. I'll definitely keep both of them. The LMF 2 is going to stay attached to my bug-out bag, and the Grylls is going to stay attached to my wife's. So I'm happy with both my purchases, and we'll try to do this with some other knives, guys. Thanks for watching.